Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to more Cedo to Action. We are in our grand finals of the Manila Major. It's TNC versus Mineski. We just witnessed game number one. Mineski looking pretty damn good. Probably one of the
Yeah.
best performances from them today. And it earns them a nice start here against TNC, who are probably the favorites, considering especially they got the win already earlier today. But strong stuff so far.
Yeah, it was a mix of things. I think it was an outdraft and it was an outplay as well. The opening of Witch Doctor kind of always put TNC on the back foot, and it really didn't synergize with the heroes that they had. I like it here as a pick. It's totally fine if you don't pick it first, but you can't just like first pick Witch Doctor. It doesn't give you that much value. You need to have it to cover against the offlane heroes, but combo it with something else. And Mineski right off the bat get the two heroes I had in the previous game. Venge and Slaughter. I think with the Enchantress in the early game, though, it's going to be worth it. This looks a lot better to me. They don't have to reactionary pick the whole time.
And TNC get that Witch Doctor first. Cuckoo.
They did.
I hope he likes this hero, man, because he has been playing a crap ton of it.
Yeah. It worked better other games. Didn't work so well here.
We'll see. Maybe they'll have a change up this time. They pair it together with their Enchantress, so already a pretty damn solid push game going their way if they want to go down that road even further. This comes after they ban out the typical A-listers here. Get rid of the Alchemist, Doom, Puck's gone. Again, they always get rid of that Lich in the first phase. Beastmaster, now Slark. They don't want to go against that TE Slark. Last time, maybe we'll get a Jug.
Maybe a Barret or two as well.
Oh, that would be different. That would be exciting. They'll probably go.
I like the Quap ban. I think that needed to happen.
Oh yeah.
Raging Potato. He's just way too good on those like reactionary mid heroes that nuke. And Quap and Puck, man, those two heroes. The Quap did so much in the last game. It made TNC look like weak players. They were executing a little poorly as well, but the Quap just punished everything. He got super far ahead. Really limited what the Slark could do to try to catch up.
The TNC I know this could be either Gyro or Jug at this point, unless they want to secure maybe an offlaner for themselves. Maybe put it off to the end like they did previously with the Tidehunter. We'll have to see.
I sort of like Jug.
Helps with the push game a bit, helping having the ward.
Then they'll have Enchant Heal and Jug Heal. That's amazing.
It's nice.
He'd have to get a Manta style, and over SNY though is the only downside. Because you have to counter the Slar amp damage, otherwise you're too weak.
Yeah, that's true.
The Slar Venge opening just looks so nasty. It really does. Do they grab Prophet here as well? It's another option. Do something like that. Because they've already got their two supports.
Faceless Void.
Okay. Alright, they're changing gears here. I think they got outpicked last game. This is going to alter things a bit. Manton Void's not a big deal. It's kind of a typical-ish progression for him, so I don't think the Slaughter being in the game is a huge counter. But it'll give them much better team fight, and that's something they were kind of lacking last game, I felt.
And the response from Mineski, Darkseer. Going to be the third pickup for them. It's been very good for a lot of these series so far. Offers great high ground defense if they need to stall things out. Slaughter plus Iron Shells, pretty good winning combo on that front. And they get the sustained power of his typical mechanism build-up, and frankly can't really go too wrong with that. Could be a lot of supple targets. TNC love to go for those heavy-hitting cores, and he always is able to get a hold of him with that wall.
Yeah, I really do like the mech though. If you look at the heroes Mineski has and compare it to TNC, TNC's they're pretty weak on damage right now, especially early game because you've got Chrono. Impetus is good, but Witch Doctor, especially pre-6, is going to be lacking output. And then there's tons of synergy on Mineski. Iron Shell, Slardar, tons of damage. They've got chain stun to chain stun. If you put a mech on top of that, I don't see TNC bursting people down very well. So things look a little weird already from the bat.
Yeah.
Right
I
off
could
the bat.
see either of these teams go Clinks now, really. Could benefit TNC from the outside of the Chrono. Plus, you
Yeah.
take it away from Mineski. Mineski could get it just to have it, to fight into a Chronosphere and have it for the Enchantress.
Yeah, do you want to get Slaughter though is the only problem, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. But Mineski might just try to hold out for it for themselves. We'll see. TNC, though, still need to grab up their mid lane / core pickups here. And, well, Gyro could do some work from the outside as well.
It's same principle though. It's kind of scary versus Slardar. They won so many games by going the Witch Doctor Slaughter combo. It opened up their draft so much.
Oh.
I like this. It's very tanky on armor, so the minus armor affects him a little bit less. Gives him the frontliner they needed. Strong mid hero. Again, they pick another melee mid, except this one is a lot more independent. He doesn't have to rely as much on ganks or having a tough matchup. It'll be a little tough, but his armor in the mid game will be good enough that I think he'll be. He actually looks strong against Mineski's heroes. The first one that I've seen.
And for Mineski here, we go back their way, and they're going to quickly grab up the gyrocopter.
Yeah.
We already know the infamous team combo that's already going to bring vacuum call downs here, and plus a Slaughter Crush to kind of be their cherry on top.
I feel like Mineski's outpicking them again, really. The Dragonite was a
Yeah.
decent solution there against all the minus armor, but now they're going heavy nuke again. Gyro versus Dragonites. Gyro does way more damage than Dragonite does in the early to mid game until DK gets BKB, basically. And even then, like, Dragonite's more tanky than damage heavy, and Gyro's more damage heavy than tanky, so I would say he kind of counters the DK here.
And the Jug will be banned here. He's like one of those core options that TNC have gone for that could get a Manta to help with against the Slardar, but
And
help
would
the
lane
push.
very well versus Darkseer,
Yeah.
which right now they don't really have a good solution for that. So we'll see if they can figure one out. For once, Mineski does get the last pick, so TNC can fully react to that last one, but
Mhm.
we're looking at a most likely support hero. Shen's in the game. Vacuum, they're pretty good. They could vacuum Slardar stun. That looks good with call down.
What about
But
just a trusty lion grab, maybe?
yeah, I think you're absolutely right. 2 disables for Faceless Void in the laning stage, plus Venge and Slardar extra disables. A Finger of Death for Enchant is really good. I think you're absolutely right here. Definitely. I mean, they did ban TA. Oh, I'm sorry. They need a core. No, they don't need a core necessarily. It could be Slar mid.
Maybe they're just anticipating,
But-
like maybe they think that's going to be a Jules Slardar again.
I mean, they made the roaming Slardar work last game. I don't know if I like it versus Enchantress though. It's okay against
Yeah, it
Chen,
looked
but not-
awkward at first because his job was like hunting down the Chen, which
Yeah.
didn't work out at all.
Did a
but
bad job at that.
but
That's
then
for
like
sure.
there was that window where we didn't check on him at all, and we came back and suddenly he was like a serious corp, and he had
Yeah.
a blink and pretty much a 4-staff done. So I guess it's nice for him to have that bit of a fallback plan where he could still find a good grind. But that's a nice thing for Mineski. Now they can kind of show that hey, they have flexibility with the first pick Slardar, and you really don't know where it could end up going here. But with the Darkseer already being picked up, it does seem likely that they could be that support again. So if that is the case,
Yeah.
we'll see what kind of mid laner Mineski will consider here. No access for the Puck or the Queen of Pain or the TA. I mean, do we fall back on, dare I say, something like an Invoker or Viper, maybe?
Their
Gets the DK?
disable's not that good enough. It's pretty good for Invoker, but it's not. It's pretty good. Kind of good against Enchantress. I don't really like it versus Void, I guess, because they could just chrono kill him in a lot of cases. I really feel like the line is a pretty good solution here. Good disable setups. It'll be great against Void in the laning stage.
Oh, the Mirana. I was
Okay.
looking at it here, and I'm like, how about a Mirana? And it just pops
Yeah,
right up
that'll work.
wonderfully. And you have an Enchantress already on the other side.
Are they gonna
Chrono
farm?
could almost work against TNC with Mirana being involved. Plus, the Moonlight Shadow counters Chrono pretty nicely too, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Because you get to initiate. But if you get chronoed, then he can see you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be core Mirana though. It's definitely possible they could do support Slardar again, but they got away with it last game just because TNC dove a little poorly and their early teamfight was weak. I think their early teamfight's quite a bit better here, especially with their last pick. Okay, so
goodness.
carrying Medusa, offlane Void, mid Dragonite, Enchantress, and Witch Doctor supports. So now the teamfight gets a lot harder for Mineski. Like, it's night and day here. Now that they've got 2 tanky cores, both of which are survivable, extremely survivable. Dragonite a little bit higher damage. The arrow combo can be good though, and I kind of like the call down. But if he just stone gazes when call down happens, then I feel like Mineski have just kind of lost the fight. Because then they're just gonna back up and maybe turn around Chrono or chase down with Dragonite stuns repeatedly.
So
Maybe.
what's Mineski's best shot? Is it having this lineup be more effective before the Medusa can even be a problem? I mean, she's got quite
yeah.
the build-up.
Laning stage is definitely one good way. Early team fights would be really good. Ganking and potentially killing Dragonite a lot in the laning stage would be probably the best thing they can do. Yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant that the Slardar will get enough here. I think he's going to have a bit of a tough time. Oh, Ragey Potato's playing Gyro, which means this is a support Marana. Nope, never mind. He has a Wraith Band.
That's a mid lane Marana.
So mid Marana versus Dragonite. Okay.
So we'll again be Jules hustling about. He's already hustling now. He's up in the top lane right now. Potentially scouting out for anyone moving.
Oh, it's Darkseer safe. I was like, where's the 5th hero? Okay, so Darkseer safe lane, planning to match up against the Faceless Void. They're going to expect TNC to go standard lanes, I guess. But I don't know if they're going to see him in time. I don't think they want to... I guess this is okay for TNC. Medusa's range, so she doesn't care about the Iron Shell. The Enchantress can roam with Witch Doctor either to gank that off lane or to gank mid. I guess Marana mid's a little bit hard to kill. Very hard to kill. Especially with Dragonite. And he actually went Bracer start. Very weird. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Classic.
30 seconds
I wonder if he's
left.
expecting Slar mid. No, I guess not. Such a weird build. Bracer start.
Yeah, I mean, I probably did that when I first started playing Dota or something, but
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the value here. I guess lower chance he dies mid, but surely Stout does more. You could go like Stout, Circlet, and it would probably do more.
been seeing a lot of interesting early builds up in the mid lane. We saw that poor man's shield earlier, and
The battle
Bracer now.
begins.
Here we go. We're underway, folks. It's game number 2 of our grand final here for the Southeast Asia Qualifier. See which team is going to be able to make their way into the Manila Major, and which team is just going to have to hope for the next go-around. Either way, we're going to have one sort of Filipino squad to represent and play in front of the hometown crowd. We'll have to see which one's going to do it. TNC have been battling their way all the way from the open qualifier. When many people thought that they kind of deserved the invite into the qualifier directly, they've had to work to go the extra mile, and they have certainly done an impressive job making it all the way here to the grand final. With Mineski kind of the name for a lot of the Filipino Dota. We'll have to see.
The big thing is how this trialing goes on the top lane. They're in position to get the stun set up, but they got to do stun into stun. And Medusa's very vulnerable right now. Oh, she does pick up Mana Shield level 1 though. She's afraid.
Yeah, I mean, still missing on the map, of course, is both these two, Venge and the Slardar here. So everybody kind of watching and waiting, and Suspect can't be hanging around the bottom lane. Mid lane would be a bit awkward, so can't really blame the Medusa for playing feeling a bit shifty about it.
Yeah, I like what Witch Doctor did here. He did a single pull. It is going to push his lane, but the important thing is that it's going to give him levels a little bit faster.
Raging Potato's like, I don't like that. Moves right in, plants the ward himself to block out the camp, and will walk away with the wave.
So, and they also sacrifice pretty heavily on Enchantress to get fast boots up on Witch Doctor, which if they were expecting an aggressive trialing, this is a great play to have because lowers the chance that Witch Doctor will die. They're going to do a smoke most likely,
Dire's top
though.
tower is under
And I haven't noticed that Cuckoo is not playing the Witch Doctor.
So-
Change things up.
Right.
AU will be taking it.
They see Slardar mid as well, so they're definitely going to commit to this top kill. If they can kill Gyro here, it's huge. They've got
Let's
a
see.
snake. It looks really good. They've got Net and Centaur. Smoke's going to break
Here
now.
it comes. They lead in with the early cask. There's the net. There's the stomp. And the snake for the KS. Nicely done. TNC.
Such a huge kill. The boots helps a lot on that, obviously. I don't really agree with the Slardar leaving the lane, but I see why he left. He's like, oh, I'm not doing anything.
I got to roam, baby.
Let's see if I can get something done mid. Maybe it'll work. But he backed off in time. Maybe they spotted the rotation. But that Gyro was way out of position. Especially because, like, as soon as the Slardar shows mid, he should communicate to the Gyrocopter, hey, they know I'm mid 100%. Maybe you should back up, you know? Like, Venge
Yeah.
was side pulling. He was completely solo. Like, Venge wasn't even positioned to, like, stun the Centaur
No,
and
not even
prevent the
close.
follow-up. Like, as soon as the Slardar showed mid there, he needed to back up. It's a freaking enchant. He's going to gank, you know? It just made it so straightforward and easy. That was a big mistake by them.
Slaughter hustles out and still continues to hang around here, but doesn't want to make the move for DK. Whether he was spotted or not, I'm sure he saw the bracer and was like, I don't want any of that, and we'll let him go. And Vinner instead will just kind of play with the high ground game a bit. And Slaughter will take his rotation all the way down below, so a lot of time just kind of wasted walking around here. But we'll see if he finds his time to recover like he did last time. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it's actually this Darkseer here for Mineski, who claims the highest CS purge, 19 and 3.
Yeah, it's probably a mix of small camps as well, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually is what happens. You can, well, maybe it's more common as the other side because you can pull them through, but Void's doing a great job. 14-3 on him. He's actually quite high on HP.
Yeah, good win-win for both of these offlaners here.
Yeah, it really is.
They'll both get to their level 6s in nice time and be able to contribute a lot. We'll just have to see who's going to be benefiting from it the most. But for the benefit of the Slardar, or for the Darkseer, he has the Slardar now pulling the camp and bringing it back under the tower quite a bit.
Yeah, Slaughter's going to try to catch up a bit here, but his pull through didn't work. Those fast creeps are actually terrible to pull through. They always like meet the creeps farther out in the lane, and it makes it hard.
It's a little trickier to pull to the left side as well, right? Over
Yeah,
the right.
it's both are issues. Haster and Topper, and they could get a kill with this. Chance only 3 though, but can they wrap around on top?
They're thinking about it. He's going to save out the Haster, and it looks like for the DK. DK will be able to grab it up. Does he take it back to mid lane? No. Sees Mirana coming in. Might have been spotted here, but they're still hanging around.
Okay.
Is that a Purge creep running in? Look at that. Purge creep's running in, trying to get a hold of Gyro. He dies. But Haste Rune, hi, how's it going? Moves right in. It was all a distraction. Moves in with the Dragon Tail, and it looks like they may be able to get the Gyro. Nice quick burst there at the end from He gets it done.
They're kind of just dying to obvious things, really. Like, I think Mirana definitely spotted the Haste Rune.
They had a ward up here, actually. Was that there the whole time?
No, that's
was
their team. So.
Oh, yeah.
But it's 5 minutes in here. They actually have no wards on the map right now, with the exception of the lane ward one. Yeah, just died. So no observer wards for the Radiant team. They surely could have had a ward up. I don't know if they're just being cocky or what, but those 2 deaths really shouldn't have happened. And it's kind of really leveled out TNC here. And I'm sure the experience is probably in TNC's favor. No, it's actually even. So I guess they're doing relatively fine. But I feel like they could have won the early game a little bit harder than that.
And both those kills being on their Raging Potato Gyrocopter have been their biggest farmer in most of these games. Mid lane, they're going to look to make a jump here. Can they finally get themselves on the board? It's a 3-on-1. Looking to push for He here. And it looks like they will. They get a nice crush connection and arrow follow-up. Jules will be the one to pick up the kill. And Mineski do get themselves on the board now.
Took a lot of doing, but they got it.
There they did. Finally they get in there, they get the work done, and they get back into their grind. But hey, meanwhile, this Void continues to farm up here on the bottom because the Darkseer was forced to kind of jump ship and take his business up to the top lane to match up against the Medusa. He will continue to find his way. He's now level 6, so has the Chronosphere ready to go. Doesn't hold a TP yet, but could find work out of it soon. Dragon Tail, here comes AU, Cask.
Oh, the Glory Cask.
It does bounce between the 2 of them, but obviously they're just a bit too far from anyone else. And they'll make it away.
He's still leveling fairly okay. Level 3 on Witch Doctor here is alright. No rune, bot rune. Cuckoo stealing some creep camps here. But they might be able to kill a Slardar.
We'll see. He goes for the sprint, but the Dragon Tail is going to be there. Moonlight Shadow, not going to matter. They toast up the fish, and they'll be able to walk away with the extra bit of bounty. And with the back end of this Dragon form, they're going to make a push happen. It looks like here in the bottom lane of secure, hopefully their first tower of the game. We'll see how much work they can get on it. And if Mineski do look to defend, Raging Potato is nearby, hiding in the trees. But it's not going to be an easy approach here. Sam still has that chrono. And I think it might be in his best interest to just kind of continue to wait.
Yeah, this TNC lineup just looks great for doing dire side things, basically taking the early tower. That ward was most common ward ever in the jungle. It led to a Slardar kill, and immediately afterwards you get a free tower. So, Dragon Knight's actually doing quite well. 2-1 and 0 right now. He's only level 6, so I guess he's a little under-leveled, but they're going to be really happy with that. It's a big tower to kill. Now Faces Void has even more space to farm. He can set up ganks with supports easier. It's harder for Mineski to put wards down to protect their jungle. Everything just got a lot harder for Mineski, especially because Slardar's now under-leveled. Like, they killed the tier 1 tower pre-10 minutes, which means that these under-leveled supports now can't even pull.
No. They can't pull. They can't find a good place to farm, and whatever available space they might need to hand over to the cores in the meantime here, but they'll continue their grind, and they will get a little bit of love in here in the form of this tower takedown in the top lane, where Darkseer had been kind of laying down a lot of the push even into the Medusa. They'll get to walk away with the extra bit of economy here. And this Faceless Void very happy on pushing in nice and deep. Obviously
careful.
without any sort of threat.
Careful what you're saying, dude.
Oh. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm feeling a bit frisky.
Tower mid gets denied. treads now on Dragonite. He's actually quite low on CS though. He's only got 35. Rana's sitting higher at 48, 49. 1,000 gold for him. So no movement on the Ags yet, I guess.
Oh, nice. Darkseer moves in. Is like, nice camp. You got stacked there. Mind if I just Iron Shell this one up?
Oh, no problem, dude. AU's got this.
And he's moving in. He's going to try to last it. Oh, snipes that one. Oh, okay, just trying his best, but
Oh god, those mud golems look scary, dude.
both of them Iron Shell on each other here.
I think that actually overall helped the Witch Doctor though. He got a couple last hits. They're splitting some experience. He's still getting experience from this. Oh, he's about to. Oh no, that one Iron Shell ran out.
Whee! Yeah, not going to hang around for it at this point, and they'll just continue to move on their path. But look at this Mineski now go on the move. They smoke. They head south. Looking to invade into their own woods. Let's see if they can find their target here. The closest one being this Faceless Void, but Cuckoo is going to be nearby. There's a Moonlight Shadow, and there's the hustle. Sprint, though, not able to make it past the creeps. An arrow. It's a shot. It's a miss. And they quickly look to sidestep and dance around, and by this point, Mineski are like, you know what?
Ooh.
Forget it.
They're gonna collapse now.
Forget it. And, oh, they're converging in. You're right, T. Looking to cut him off at the pass here. Casket's like, I'm going to run out to the cliff. There's nowhere to
Literally
fall.
nothing he
I
can
buy
do.
out. He buys everything. He fills up his stash, and he's just going to say his prayers. You know what? Screw you. Throws out a magic missile. Will die anyways, and that'll be the end of it.
It's good to smoke to clear out your jungle occasionally, but they had to get the stun initiation. Unfortunately, though, the great positioning by TNC, like the fact that they were jungling the small camp with a ward on the other side of it, means as soon as the smoke breaks, they can get out. And that's the two most evasive heroes. But that's why they're farming there. Enchantress is really fast with Untouchable, and Faces Void can Chronosphere defensively, or you can Time Walk to get away. So put all the heroes that are less safe at farming in the mid lane and maybe in their safe lane, and then rotate over when the party starts.
And there might be a party starting down here. Smoke up, and here they go. Off towards the mid lane. We have yet to see this Chrono make a debut, and it could happen here in the mid lane. Teehee pops out the dragon form, and they're looking to make a siege happen
they're
here.
gonna go on him.
While Mineski makes their approach,
They're
they
late.
jump in, call down. The rest of the TNC could be a little late to this party. They finally show up. There's the jump. A nice
Oh
Chrono.
my God.
Does catch Teehee on the inside here. AU not level 6 yet. He's so close, but can't get it. He goes down at the end to the Starfall. Raging Potato, though, in a bit of trouble. Not going to be going down. Still lives. Dishes out a Rocket Barrage and will hold on. Teehee on the other side gets caught out with a crush. Jules looks to right-click him down, and he looks to make chase. Gets off the stun, but a right-click. Oh, arrow going to be a miss. Here he comes. He's going to have a crush after the sprint. Can he bottle up? Can he make it away?
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Ah, that was so close for them. Medusa was not there, by the way. There's basically a problem with the Tier 1 tower being dead. If Tier 1 tower was up there, he could have TP'd. But I guess they felt comfortable going for that pressure. It's just, it happened a little too early. The other heroes hadn't quite rotated in time. The Chronosphere was pretty good, but it did catch the Dragonite, and that meant that they didn't quite have enough damage to kill the Gyro. I think Void should have committed to it, though. He's very close to killing, but he didn't anticipate the Fairy Fire, and he backed, so.
I blame the Golem. Because if the Golem had died and Witch Doctor would have got that bit of XP, he would have been level 6 there. He would have had his Death Ward for that fight, and he was in a great spot for the Chrono.
He could have bought the Tome as well. Like the Tome was ready before, but he opted for Arcane Boots instead.
For shame.
It could have been really good, yeah. He could have just thrown Cask and dropped the ult right away.
We'll
Might
have
have
it
made
now.
a huge difference.
But their Chrono debut not going to lead to as much success as they were hoping for here. And it looks like in the meantime, Mineski have a nice big ancient camp that they will be able to farm through here on the side of Raging Potato.
It's a big gold advantage for Mineski then. Okay, literally
it's gone.
everybody lagging.
Yeah, big lag spike, but back into the grind here. 4-4. Things even up as far as the kill score, but Mineski just barely inching ahead in both the gold and the XP department here.
So they're going back to defend their racks per usual. Everything's pushing out a little bit. Enchantress split pushing pretty much. Just totally standard stuff here. They're not really wanting to be active until they get Chronosphere up at least. And there's also a Midas on Void. Not to mention they have a Medusa. Like this game does not want to go fast for TNC.
Oh, TNC, no.
They gotta slow it down.
Time's on their side. You know, they might end up losing a couple of outer towers here. You know, so be it. But they can certainly play the slow game.
Their net worth is a little bit weak though. Darkseer is the top of the graph. Gyrocopter farming well, and Marana as well is only going to accelerate. Ooh, she went drum.
I was just going to ask you what you felt about the drum on the Marana.
It's kind of okay because she's very spell reliant, but when this could be an Ags, is this the right choice? I don't think so. Sort of. She does have a lot of leap levels though, so if she activates drum and leaps, you're talking about like charging your team. That's like 30% movement speed and 50 attack speed for like
Dire's top tower is
however
under
many seconds,
attack.
10 seconds or so.
Radiant's
It's not
middle
bad.
tower is under attack.
Considering they're actually already ahead in team fight, this might be worth it. Like rather than aim for like the 20-minute advantage, they can do the 13-minute advantage. That's one benefit of drum.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Looks like TNC will be able to secure this mid-tier 1 tower without much effort, but it comes at a cost as their top tier 2 in a bit of trouble here.
Has fallen.
Mineski make the play for it. Will there be a defensive response here from TNC? It looks like that may be the case. Tower goes down, Moonlight Shadow, and a quick disengage comes out from Mineski. TNC will not be able to make it there in time to catch anyone out. These free towers go in the way of Mineski. A game plan which, you know, it seems pretty obvious. You're going against a slow-playing team like TNC with the Medusa. Eventually, you're going to want to start taking down all these towers and restricting the amount of farm that TNC are going to be able to get on the map.
Yeah, and they're doing this pretty well. Again, their farm is still behind, but I don't know if I have faith in the Medusa, honestly. She has decent last hits, but it's not amazing. Their team fight is really good, though. But there's just a lot of value in the items that Mineski has, and their heroes are just kind of really strong right now. But if Medusa gets her ulti off, it's a pretty straightforward fight. They just kind of run them down.
Early call down here. They do not want this push
I don't like that at all,
to
actually.
come their way.
Is under attack.
Oh, are they gonna swap him? No.
No, not happening
gonna-
yet. Medusa leads in. AU gets off the cask and follows up with a chrono and a death ward. They will swap him out to
Oh!
safety. And he makes it back and away, but now comes out the stone gaze here.
They get
Nice little
raging-
time walk to get all the
Got
life
him.
back. Finally, Gyrocopter will be going down. He'll be the first to fall in this skirmish. Now a good jump in from Jules. Gets a good two-man crush. Another time walk here will heal up the void, and Cuckoo's going to have to retreat on the back end. And Mineski, though, looking
So they-
to put out a chase.
They don't lose anybody? Really? Okay.
That's it. Oh, man. Okay.
Where's Dragon Knight? Oh, Dragon Knight's just getting here. Okay.
Yeah, TNC's like, now the Dragon Knight's here, let's party. He moves in. He's got the Dragon form out.
Tower is under
They're still spread out. Like some of them
Mineski's
had
like
to
up
run
north. Yeah, this is pretty awkward for them. Jules will move over. He grabs up his own TP, not looking to use it quite yet. While Darkseer will cut the
Radiant's
creep
top
wave.
tower is under
Not going to stop TNC
Good
from going in from this tier 1. Oh, actually, it will.
Okay. Will they grab him though?
This
No,
is awkward.
he's
And
actually gone.
They make it away.
What a bizarre fight. That was so weird. I love the vacuum into their own chrono. That was really cool. It's poetic justice. They did kill the gyro though, which is a super big kill. He's just got Yasha phase right now, so his survivability is actually not that high.
Yeah.
Dragon Knight's transitioning quite well though. He's got 1600 gold plus on top of a drum. So I think if he goes Blink or something like that, the fights become a lot more straightforward for TNC. They don't necessarily have to initiate with Chronosphere, and that could kind of change everything.
And all the meanwhile, the Medusa still needs to build up here before she's a big problem. Sporting about 1,700 gold. She has a camp stack here to work with, and it looks like she will go for it now. As the time still does continue here, and Raging Potato continues to dish out call downs for these waves. He'll be happy to push them apart, and he himself will go for his own mighty stack. So the grind is real here. These teams both kind of were eager to throw a lot of punches in their first series, but this time they know there's a lot at stake for this grand final, and at least in this game we're going to be playing things a bit more meticulous.
Yeah, the drafts changed a lot from the first series to this one. It was basically like what starter, which doctor. It's so cool seeing the teams play the strats differently, because they are very different. So they understand that they have to play the games different. So now we're finding like different peaks of like which strats work better for which teams. Like which strats are they stronger at, for example. It's kind of crazy to see it change because it definitely adds some unpredictability, but it's the nature of drafting, man. Sometimes you're forced into these situations to play these styles that you're not necessarily as good at.
We'll have to see how TNC's Medusa style will be this game as she continues to just inch by inch take down this ancient stack. Just pales at the speed that Raging Potato was able to do his,
Yeah.
but she is slow and steady to it. Potato was able to finish out that Helm of the Dominator and already picks up the first component. Potentially BKB, we'll have to see. Setting out the Ogre Club for now.
His HP is still really weak though, so
Yeah.
Impetus is gonna wreck him. Not to mention Impetus plus Medusa ulti.
Oh, you're right.
Just bonus. Well, it's just bonus physical damage, but you know they have a lot of right click. They really do. Okay. TNC will now group up to smoke as the Roshes. Oh, no, I'm sorry, they're not rushing. Never mind.
Looks like they'll deter from that and instead
they're
take
gonna
their
fight.
business straight down towards the bottom. Oh, even a Blinks here. They want this Medusa.
Oh, this could be really good for them. All right, they see all the heroes surely. I don't think they saw Bench, and I don't think they know that Slar is there, but they're pinging it. They say,
Bottom tower is under attack.
oh, that was the yellow ping actually.
Yeah, I'm watching from the vision here of Mineski. They see this Medusa now. I don't know if he wants to dive that deep
He's so
for
close
her.
to
He's
Manta.
thinking about it. Amp is there. Medusa quickly pings out the side woods.
He's got the Manta now. He just has to fly it over. It's a good pickup.
Yep.
Can remove amp damage, and it really amplifies his total DPS with split shot. Dragon Knight going BKB. This is alright.
That's good.
They defend it. If he would have gotten his Manta a little bit slower, they wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that. But now all of a sudden he increases his HP by 10 strength. Plus the 10 int also is super valuable. He's just increases survivability by so much. Although I guess when you use Manta, you also reduce that mana that you, or that HP that you've gained from the int. But split shot Manta illusions actually do quite a lot of damage. With that said, Mineski has AoE to deal with them, but it's a pretty good Deuce item. Just he needs another big item to follow it up that's going to make his illusions do even more.
We'll have to wait to see what that big item is. Meanwhile, mid lane, Jump Chrono gets a good move for Raging Potato, and swap back. A nice little save there from your Vengeful Spirit, and under the Moonlight Shadow here, it looks like the Gyro might be able to make it away, but T-He tries to get close enough, possibly for the follow-up, but not going to be able to make it there in time. All right, valiant save from your Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, that was a huge save. They absolutely needed to keep him alive there. The SNY is up on him, so he's super fast, and now they're going to group try to take their own tower. Now the Dragon Knight's been used, maybe a couple pings at least. If they have Medusa ulti, they can constantly go, basically. They're going to have to back off, I guess.
Yep. They send Medusa right back towards his bottom lane. She'll get right back into the grind of farm, and
And
that'll be
now-
the end of it. But now Mineski
yeah.
will go on the move.
No Chronosphere. They smoked under the Observer Ward, though, clearly. So they know what's going on.
Yep. Look how
And
fast they are
there's
to
the
get out of
scan.
there.
Ooh, Eggs is up on the Mirana now, though. So this is huge nuke damage. Does Dragon Knight have BKB? He doesn't yet. He's actually quite far away from it.
Oh no. Oh, they go into the pit now. And in
TNC
TNC
time.
fashion, here they come, Purge. You're doing Roche, not on our watch. Somehow we'll be there to stop you from it.
This is a
And
little
it's
early.
always T-He who's there first, too. Steps in, this time a bit too early. Wow, Medusa eats the stray arrow. It's a long stun, too.
They're going to swap it, yeah.
They do swap her right
Oh,
back
she needs to get her ult
into the
up.
crush. He has the mana shield, vacuum in.
He doesn't get it.
Not going for the Stone Gaze.
He's
Doesn't
dead.
have the mana for it. Medusa goes down. Not able to kind of get any sort of lick in this fight. Crush setup from Jules. A beautiful fight from Mineski, it looks like here. Leads to 1, 2, and 3. As they're going to be able to take down the Enchantress. They're looking for 4, and they'll get it. T-He also goes down. It's a triple kill for the Ben-Hur Mirana. And make it a Roche as well. Jules, unfortunately, misblink there. But nonetheless, Mineski with the huge fight Purge. They take down 4 all day.
All it took was that one arrow because it sets up further putting Medusa out of position with a swap, and
Yep.
then the chain stun, which drains her mana. And once her mana is drained and she can't ultimate, her hero is awful. So really big arrow that landed on Medusa there.
Under attack.
It was just a hard fight to take. If Dragon Knight had BKB there, they could have taken it 5v5. The other problem was that Enchantress was way out of position. She was sprinting from the tier 2 tower about the time that Dragon Knight walked in. So
And I assume the Faceless Void wasn't really around for that either.
I mean, he didn't have Chronosphere, so like, what does he do?
Yeah.
He's level 11. He's got 3 time dilation, but he's got no damage really. It's tough for a while. It's kind of a bad fight to take. I think it would have been all right if they didn't get arrowed, but he got arrowed, and then
Yeah.
that means he dies. They could have delayed the Roche taking otherwise.
Almost even looked like just a scouting arrow just to see if anyone was coming from that direction, and unfortunately Medusa was there to take it to the face.
Yep.
And now we're going to be seeing TNC from yet another pretty heavy-handed deficit. We didn't see them really playing from behind at all in their first series. They get the break, and now suddenly they're not looking so good at the start of this grand final. Dropping game number 1 and game number 2 also going the way here for Mineski.
Yeah, pretty surprising. Oh, they actually have a Quelling Blade on Medusa. Interesting. Maybe it lets you do this like ancient jungling a little bit easier.
I guess so.
Just stand up. It does increase your damage to creeps by a whole 15%.
Oof.
It's not terrible. And you can juke trees and stuff. It's kind of value.
Uh-oh, top lane. Eyeballing for Jules. Teehee moves in with the Dragon Tail. They're going to get the stun. Can they get the follow-up? AU's there. Cask and a Death Ward. And they'll get it done. It's AU who picks up the last hit. And TNC will be able to get a kill back their way. Does cost him Dragon Forms, Dragon Tail as well as the Death Ward for it. But nonetheless, they'll take any sort of winnings. Even that kill is about a 1K net worth swing alone. So
Yeah, they got to group up and take more kills like that.
yeah.
Sometimes even trading a smoke for it can be really worth it. They're actually on cooldowns for smoke, so any they have in their inventory, which is just the one on the Enchantress. Yeah, that's their last smoke. So that's kind of scary. Maybe save it for next Roshan, most likely. Faceless Void working on his Ags now. It's the benefit of the Midas finally going to kick in. And once he has that, the cooldown will be low enough that they'll feel more comfortable taking fights.
Once every fight, pretty much, he'll be up and that they're ready to go. But yeah, it's in the meantime, it's just TNC need that much more time here, and we'll have to see if Mineski will even allow them to get that bit of time. Oh, arrow, wild arrow. Does it connect? Oh, slips right between them.
And he's going to split push so well.
Yep.
Especially with BOTs.
Look at that, just that is nice. Able to easily clear out the wave with the help of that double starfall and Ags. And the mobility factor too, picking up those boots of travel.
Another smoke from Radiant though.
Yep. She's out in front here. And the rest of her posse
There's
looks
the
to
scan.
sweep in from backing around. Can they make their move in? Scans out. Will they have the high ground advantage? Arrow is going to fly. It will miss, but man, Jules quick to cut off Cuckoo here. And they just put him in a hurt locker. And now they want more. AU. I must make it back to base. Gets off a coconut. And, well, that will be
fine.
the end of it. He's actually fine. Okay, return fire. Sam steps in.
Oh no, he put the ward in.
And, well, the ward inside the chrono is not going to add a whole lot of a factor. Finally, it will conclude, and the ward does get off a little bit of damage here. There's the call down. TNC walk away a bit with their life, but it's not going to come easy, and especially not if there's a swap and a leap in commitment from Mineski. TNC will lose their Medusa, and they are now in a very bad spot here for game number 2. Top 3 net worth all belonging to Mineski at this point. They'll be able to move in for this tier 2. They could continue to push on in. And Medusa might have to be forced into a buyback now.
They use so many teamfight ultimates too, and they got nothing out of it. The Chronosphere is used. They use Medusa ulti as well. The Manta now is, it's just not paying off in terms of damage, and it never will.
Whoa! Jules, man, this guy, he slides in, he blinks forward, he gets the crush, they get the kill. Quickly taking out the Witch Doctor before he can even have a say in any matter. He didn't have the Death Ward, committing it for the last fight, but nonetheless, just a smooth pickoff there from Mineski, showing TNC that nowhere is really safe, even inside their own base.
Yeah, they're really peaking right now, basically. Medusa had to get Manta due to the amplified damage, but it's a terrible damage item until you get like 1, maybe 2 more items. So she's just in this weird place where she can team fight, but most of her damage is kind of just like Mystic Snake. And TNC hasn't been getting kills, and it's hard for them to take fights, and Mineski can play around all of these teamfight ultimates. So, on the bright side, Sam H still hasn't died. That's one thing they got going for them. But again, Medusa keeps going back to doing Ancients, and it's like, is this really going to accelerate your farm that much? And so far, it doesn't seem like it does.
In her world, apparently it will, but yeah, it's definitely a case where she's going to be hoping to get a lot more time than what will be permitted from Mineski, as you're going to be seeing a Raging Potato Butterfly come in order here soon too, and then really the Medusa is not going to have a whole lot of options of being able to get that kind of hit connection here.
Yeah, on all the heroes actually, Dragonite, Void, and Medusa, and Enchantress. It's actually such a good Butterfly game. Really good pickup here, and I think there's not enough nukes on TNC either that it's okay for him to do this. He's not going to be vulnerable to nuke damage, so he's not forced into a Scotty first. He's got a huge advantage right now. They don't even have like a good ganking tool on Dragonite. They don't have Blink, they don't have Shadow Blade. It's just he had to go drum BKB, but it was a little bit slow.
Yeah, I mean, now he has a little bit of durability and the benefit of that magic immunity, but as you mentioned, the damage is just really a non-factor for most of their team right now, except maybe some decent impetus damage coming out.
Yep.
And hopefully that will be following up a big Stone Gaze, which just hasn't really been there this game. More of the Medusa just kind of getting caught out in a bad position and hoping for a defensive one at that. So here they come now, Mineski, though. They are really hitting their stride. Took a couple of games for a warm-up, but they were able to battle past Orange Tearing here in the lower bracket to find their spot here in the grand final. And suddenly they are on the verge of being 2 up and forcing TNC in a match point where TNC looked like the best team in this qualifier.
It's like the complete opposite now. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but this best of 3 is just, the best of 5 has just been going so bad for them. Different picks that they weren't expecting. Maybe Mineski has finished out, or figured out their drafting better than they have.
It's a first pick witch doctor, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Crack that code real quick.
it was almost good.
Almost.
It was good with Slaughter. That was kind of the linchpin, really. So, the Enchantress did get some stuff done early, but it wasn't like mind breaking or anything like that. So even that felt like a bit of a weak pick. And I just don't completely see the value in Medusa either. I think she's a little bit weak in terms of a carry. They've just been so limited on their cooldowns, really. Maybe they should have gone like a gank item on Dragonite instead of Drum. The Drum's kind of good, but if that was a Blink instead, maybe they could have won a lot more fights. Or even go like Bracer into Blink instead.
And he's still not going to go any sort of ganking item here. He's got the helm here. Looks like an armlet potentially in
Yeah.
the future for Teehee.
That's kind of good too, though. But it's not a good solution against a butterfly. Like, God, the idea that you're buying an armlet when somebody already has a butterfly, it's like that's the state of the game. It's a bad sign.
He'll have a butterfly and potentially something else too at this rate. He's got 1,700 gold already built up after that butterfly. And we have a Roche going to be coming up also here, possibly in the near future. We'll see, depending on the secondary timer. But Mineski continue to control the majority of this map purge. I'm seeing a lot of TNC continue to hide out inside their base with nowhere really comfortable to move out. And anywhere they can get is pretty much handed over to both the Dragonite and Medusa. Forces them to continue to suffer.
It's getting worse and worse for them. They're definitely falling behind, especially on heroes like Dragonite. If you're not constantly farming, you will fall behind with that guy. And Medusa's kind of the same. She's strong later, but right now her ability to farm creeps is quite weak.
What is her big comeback item? I mean, it looks like she's trying to at least finish out a
Scotty,
Scotty.
yeah.
But Rapier?
Scotty's
to follow that?
like a ridiculous HP item for Medusa. She actually gets so much survivability from it. I guess a little bit less than it used to because Int gives you less mana now, but it's a really good item for her. Manta Illusions will be better. That gives her some really needed utility, actually, because you can slow people like Jaro or Slardar through BKB. But I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Mineski know that they have a huge power advantage in this game, but they're just hoping to get those one extra items to really kind of seal the deal here. It looks like the Mirana is going to be finishing up her BKB here in just a moment. And even the Gyrocopter looking to go for a Scotty himself.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to farm that way faster than Medusa will.
TNC did scan in front of the front door of the Roche pit here, and they did see it go off. I don't know if they plan on heading that direction at all.
Kind of looks like it.
Come together, smoke
Dragonite
and
here.
head that
He's got
way.
an armlet. He's going to push maybe one more wave here. I think they just would rather know if they are in that area. Obviously, Gyro's hitting the wave, so they don't know that he's not. They're not doing Roche just yet, but they'll push all the waves out and then they'll anticipate for this. They will group and fight for this,
It's TNC.
most likely.
Can they get it there, though? It looks like already Mineski have brought down to half of its life.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
They're not going to.
Mineski will have the Aegis at this point. Mirana will have her BKB, and this is Mineski's biggest peak of the game right now. This could potentially lead to a closeout of game number 2 if all goes according to plan for them. We'll have to see what the best bet is here for TNC to hold out. They have the Chrono potential with the Stone Gaze. Now, as you mentioned, that armlet pickup. I mean, Medusa going in for the Scotty now. Not even going to hold for a buyback. This is...
Yeah, she definitely has to. There's no point waiting for a buyback. They're already ahead of you in gold. If you buy back, then you end the game because you're never going to be competitive in terms of farm.
Yep.
I kind of wish they would have wrapped around Smoke Inked. Could have been potentially very good.
But this is it. The push approaches here, and Raging Potato with that Aegis will begin his siege here on this tier 3. Gets it pretty damn low, nearly taken all the way down.
They have to fear the swap basically into the combo, especially with Aether Lens on Venge. So Medusa doesn't even feel safe like hitting the Gyrocopter.
Sleeping Sam hit by the arrow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever.
It's deep,
He's got the eggs.
but he's fine.
It's one benefit that they have. Like, if this fight goes semi-even, then they'll be able to defend against soon. But With Aegis up, it's hard.
Okay. Nice swap. I mean, Raging Potato does have the Aegis,
Okay.
but
Definitely
you
fight
want to
now.
save it.
I think they smoke with 5, and then they go take a fight right now.
Well, the
Swap's
swap-
on cooldown,
yeah.
so that's pretty big. Offensively and defensively.
Let's see if TNC do it.
They're putting sentries down to try to spot for
Any sort
the
of wars
obs,
that,
and then they'll smoke, I think.
well, they'll know they'll do it in the dark now. But before they even get a chance to smoke, Mineski are still kind of lurking in the neighborhood here towards this bottom lane, pushing it in. Will TNC look for an approach to take a fight? This may be their best chance while the swap is on cooldown. That safety net will not be available.
They're just going to wait for Dragon Knight ult end, and then they're going to maybe push high ground again. That's the only thing that was wasted there, really. That shows, that makes up for Mineski's inaction here. And once they do that, that means that Dragon is an awful hero, basically. It's not going to be doing good right-click damage. It's not going to be range. Won't be able to range stun. Definitely going to be limited. And here they go, down the mid. They wasted Potom ult, but that was about it.
All right, here comes Mineski now. They still have all their other ults ready to go. And with the Raxes already exposed, Raging Potato goes right back to work, still holds the Aegis here. And a jump in from Jules catches out a sidelined AU. Nothing will follow up from it. Just a little bit of a way to deter them. Raging Potato commits the call down here. It's to zone them back. He gets the 1 Rax down. Now he's looking to go for the bigger melee Rax. Medusa crawls in and he pulls back. Slow siege here from Mineski. So they'll get their first real base damage in.
They're playing this so safe, but they are so far ahead.
Yeah, it's grand finals after all here. You got to make sure you get the win.
I really wish for their sake that they had something that could split push, because they're just so limited in their base.
Potato looking to get the final Rax here in the mid lane. Okay, jump in, Shiva's vacuum, wall. Here comes the rest of the party now. The Stone Gaze will fly out from TNC. They quickly take out the Enchantress. She's going to be forced to buy back. There's your Chrono here, but can't nearly do enough damage for this Mirana as she had the BKB already out. Potato hits with a time dilation, gets the new cooldown out, and turns his sights. Looking to go for the Rax right now. Expects to lose his life, but has the Aegis to kind of get back to full. While TE makes his move. Still not going to be enough to finish anyone off from Mineski. Finally, they'll be able to bring down the Raging Potato, but he comes back for his second life here. Can TNC get anything out of it? Jules makes a committed hard dive to get the crush off, but could lose his own life for it, which costs the gem. It will hit the deck, and TNC will be able to pick it up. But Potato going right back to work here. But
He's
you got
so slow.
Raven just slowing him down with the right clicks with the Scotty.
Oh, the snake bounce!
Mystic Snake bouncing about right now. Mirana pretty low, has to be forced to step back.
Okay.
Vengeful Spirit not going to be able to make it away. Good chase there from Sam. Will get the job done. TNC, it will cost them a dieback there on their Enchantress, but they will get the Rax at the end of the day. Will Mineski? I don't know. Was that a good enough hold for TNC?
It was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was alright though, kind of. They got some kills, killed the Aegis, almost got a couple. They almost got like a quad kill. If they got
say that could have been worse for sure.
it easily could have been worse. They could have lost the game right there.
Oh, yeah.
But they're still so far behind in items. The Gyro has almost 2 times as many items as the Dragon Knight. Like, he's got Scotty, Helm of the Dominator, SNY, and Butterfly. That alone just means that they can't damage him easy, and that's what's been happening all fight. Every time that they say, hey, let's go on Gyrocopter, they just don't kill him. What's the only solution? Maybe like that.
Rapier on Medusa.
Another 1 item.
Demon Edge.
That
Probably
gives
going for the
the
MKB.
removes evasion,
Yeah.
the Orchid, super Orchid,
Oh, yeah.
the Bloodthorn. That's one thing that would actually work. But none of these heroes want to build that, and
No.
it's for the best that they don't. MKB is what Medusa is going to follow up with here, because she needs the ability to hit the Butterfly.
Yeah.
It's pretty important.
I mean, even the Butterfly in that fight just seemed to be doing a lot. It took him a long time to even take down the Gyrocopter from his first life. He was able to get off a lot and certainly assisted finishing out their racks without too much trouble. Stayed alive so that his second cooldown was going to be there. It's obviously a very nice investment for them.
Yep. There's a BKB on the Sardar now, so he can just do whatever he wants now in fights. I guess Medusa ulti is still there, but I just haven't really felt like I've seen the effect.
Yeah. I hear it go off. I hear
Yeah.
the screech. I just don't see the damage. I don't see the work being done from it.
It's a 3-second stun when it goes off. It doesn't synergize amazingly, that's for sure. A lot of their heroes do. I guess the best one is probably Witch Doctor ulti. Oh, he's got an Axe.
Oh.
Okay, they can win. They can actually win. All right, this is what you do. You get a blink dagger on Deuce, turn that on, wait till they turn on, then you blink past them, and then they're like, what do we do? And then you hit them with the Witch Doctor ulti, so none of them can blink, and stun the Witch Doctor, and then you win the game. Because then they'll turn into stone, and then they'll take bonus 50% damage, which means the Witch Doctor ulti will win the game. It's possible. The fact that he's this farmed is actually pretty impressive. His build, has definitely worked out. You can do that all with Chronosphere, by the way. All right, Chronosphere, 5 heroes. As that's ending, prep it 3 seconds early. Start that Stone Gaze.
Yep.
Then they are stunned for 7.5. How can you lose? It's so straightforward, dude.
Well, we'll see. If the stars align, Mineski are like, guys, let's just all get together. Real tight, real close. Walk our ass into that base and hope to God they don't Chrono Witch Doctor Stone Gaze the hell out of us. But for now, Mineski just pretty happy with their positioning. Taking out that mid set of racks, we get back underway here. And Ben-Hur goes back to work, arrowing out this top lane and using that ridiculous double Starstorm to continue to keep these wave pushed, forcing TNC into their base here. They have been very comfortable living at home, seriously under house arrest right now.
Yep. He's going to have E-Blade now in 100 gold, something like that. So it's very farmed. Killing solo heroes is going to be really straightforward. Like Enchantress is just not tanky enough to deal with this right now. If he just like E-Blade, double Starfall, she dies. So she's got a really tough road ahead of her. She still does do good damage, but this is probably the squishiest enchant I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Especially with all the nukes they have.
And here comes Mineski now. Back up and around here, they will have to wait quite a bit if they wanted to hope for the next Roche before they make their push, but you can't really blame them. It's a very slow, strategic kind of a game coming out from Mineski, but when you've got this kind of advantage, and it is Grand Finals after all, you're not looking to make any sort of slip-ups or mistakes, and you're going to play this game as disciplined as possible, knowing you're just that much closer. I mean, what is it now? Last place at the major. What do you walk away with? 30,000 something? Is that too high?
It's all right. It's somewhere around there.
I mean, that's like a mini tournament. This is like a mini grand final for a mini tournament in itself, you know?
Sometimes, yeah, I guess so. It's it's like 6K a person or something, depending on how you split it with managers
Better than like
and
a
stuff like that.
Canada Cup or something.
Yo, don't say that, dude. Last Canada Cup actually like tripled in prize pool due to the chest, though. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's the beauty of hats.
The beauty of hats, definitely. It's decent money, definitely. It's no TI, like where if you get like top 10 at TI, you're like,
I'm
wow,
not saying
I'm
that
set
these
for
guys
life.
are going for the money on this win, but that's how much this all comes down to. You get that secure trip to make it to the Manila Major. You already get some money coming your way, especially for these two teams. These two teams, knowing that they could actually be playing on that stage, which happens to be just down the street, that's awesome. And probably one of the hypest crowds you could ask for in Dota 2.
Yep.
So
They're smoking out. They're trying to get a kill here. Oh, they do get a scan on the Mirana. She's so hard to kill, though. Still, no Blink Dagger on Dragon Knight. They're just
gone.
so limited.
Just as fast as they went there.
Yeah, she's actually really, really gone. Oh, the creeps respawn, though. She might come back. Nope, never mind.
Oh, that would be something.
I guess they're... Huh. I'm kind of surprised they read that one. The waves are fairly pushed out, so... Do so clear up the top lane. She's very close to MKB. She could have it here. Only works on the main target you're hitting, but at least you can give True Sight or True Strike to all of your illusions.
I know you need the MKB to hit a gyro, but
you're actually so right. It has to be. Yeah, I think it really should be. They're quite far behind. Gold graph of 25k. That's massive, actually. This late in the game.
Yeah.
This kind of gold advantage doesn't normally happen. They stay more competitive, but they've had a turtle a lot.
I mean, you get a good chrono. She
with a
could
rapier.
do work with the rapier.
And good stone gaze.
And
like
Death Ward.
Boom, there it is. All right, I like this.
All right. The Devi rapier, apparently. Coming out from Lady Medusa. Will TNC pull this game back from a 25k plus deficit with this rapier? It could be a surprise.
They smoked also.
Attack from Mineski, but you're right. They smoked.
They're scared. They're
and
uphill.
They're heading up and around the bend here. They want to be in the better position here. AU moving in. Could pop the smoke here on the other side. He's creeping. Oh, Mirana sees him, jumps in with the E-Blade, double Starstorm and an arrow. He just gets assaulted, and yeah, you're right, they need him. They need that They need that precious Agnum's Death Ward. Witch Doctor's out now. 50 seconds. Oh no! Oh no! Mineski make their move, and it's right on top of the head of TNC, and boom, boom, they all go down. The Medusa could be quick to fall here, and that's a rapier on the deck. The game is over. The dream is crushed. TNC, just
Ugh.
as fast as they pick up their rapier, it is lost.
They just got a little scared at the end. That one range creep actually kind of guaranteed their loss there, because they said, okay, they're on their side of the cliff. They're over in the jungle. They didn't want to run that way. But if they did actually wrap around, possibly with some detection, they could have maybe taken a normal fight. But man, what a tough 2 losses already for TNC. They look like the best team in the qualifier, and then all of a sudden they get to the grand finals, and Mineski's just consistently outpicking and outplaying them.
Yeah, they're tired of playing Dota, and they're ready to just close this one out by the way they're going at it. And it does feel like a very different playing behavior here from TNC. Starting even with the draft, they kind of just put themselves in a position we haven't seen them in. Got the Faceless Void, they
Yeah.
got the Medusa, and really were not able to kind of hit any sort of peak.
Is it the Slardar? The Slardar is a hero that keeps winning.
Really is, even
adjust
whatever
lanes.
position it's in.
Yeah, no matter what, even in the 4 position, surprisingly. And they're not getting like a Beastmaster to respond to it to do kind of similar things, ganking team fights. So the draft has to change in some major way. Maybe adjust the bans, something like that. But they've kind of tried this last 2 games, I feel.
Witch Doctor first pick, though, might be the ticket they need.
It failed game 1 real bad. Game 2, they comboed it with the Enchantress. The Enchantress didn't do enough, and Mineski basically got Slar Venge, and then they got to combo everything else they wanted, basically. Like, it's so hard to draft against Drow or against Slar Venge, because you're like, okay, we have to ban all these like minus armor synergy heroes that are to make this ridiculous. And then they follow it up with just like nukes and stuff, like Gyro Marana. They can just counter whatever the heck TNC does.
Maybe just bring back that Abaddon pick again. You know,
Maybe
we saw
they-
it a bit earlier. It helped a bit. It was something that Lanham had pulled out at the Frankfurt Major
Yeah.
when Slardar was really popular then too. It just feels like it's like we're talking about in the draft. You see the early pick of the Slardar, and you're like, well, we would go for this, but you have to deal with the amp damage and a way to get rid of it. So I
Yeah.
wonder if you have to start with the supports and helping out.
Yeah, it's tough. I was thinking maybe Venge first pick, but then they get Slardar Witch Doctor, and that seems to be good too. So what's
That's
the
crazy.
solution? Try to force them to pick something else, but I don't know what it is. Maybe leave some tier 1 heroes in. That way you play against those rather than let them get Slar Venge. Maybe you get Doom instead. That's probably better. Maybe. Hard to say.
Well, they better figure it out. TNC at least. They got
Yeah.
1 game to do it. Can they make the comeback and take us to a game 4? We'll find out. Otherwise, Mineski now. Match point. 1 more win, and they're going to the major, baby. We'll see if it's going to happen or not. That's Purge Gamers. I'm Coddle Guy. We'll be back for game number 3 of the C Grand Final for the Manila Major. We'll see you soon.